Well, a very warm welcome to our video tour of the National Garden Scheme's Open Garden Day here at Wretham Lodge, a 10-acre garden surrounding the most beautiful former Georgian rectory, which wasn't open to the public. But this spring garden really was spectacular, and I would highly recommend, if you are in the Norfolk area when this NGS garden is open, that you visit and enjoy it. Fantastic 10 acres, formal gardens, parkland, wooded areas. This fantastic copper beech probably dates from around the time the house was first built, or certainly the building that's here at the present time. Some marvellous plantings of tulips were on display when we visited. It's mixed herbaceous border. I wonder if this has been dug and replanted from the herbaceous side quite recently, because still very early in the season. Lots of the tulips seem to be scattered on a pretty randomised basis, and I wonder if these may have been dug through to replant a lot of the herbaceous plants. I'm sure this border looks magnificent later in the season, but the spring plantings of bulbs I don't think are the main attraction in it. Nonetheless, looking very good, and a nice range of tulip styles, colours and plantings scattered throughout this bit of herbaceous. It's planted in a block of yew hedging, very mature, and to the side of this you start entering the more wild area of the garden, mature apple and pear orchards. This garden's almost entirely walled around its entire 10-acre perimeter, and the cost of doing that, even back in the day when this rectory was built, must have been an enormous outlay. Closer to the house are these wonderful further herbaceous plantings. They do like white tulips, and they're absolutely spectacular against the green backdrop at this time of year, really ping, particularly in the evening light. Not a lot to see in the herbaceous plantings when we visited in April, but just look at these tulip planters, 4 of them repeating identical plantings, a really clever mix of colours and varieties, with short bright orange and then the parrot type taller mix of red and then deep burgundy. Further away from the old rectory, plantings become more wood-like, and there's a large area of combined bluebells which were only just starting to do their thing. Some pink bells, as you can see, and then as we make our way round further into the garden, a fantastic area of spring bulbs. All the paths in this area were just cut. We'll show you the garden equipment that they use here, because I can't resist having a poke around the working areas of these open gardens, if you're allowed to do so. Pretty recent plantings in relationship to the age of that copper beech, shot here from the southern side, that formal symmetrical Georgian rectory. Absolutely gorgeous. More bluebells, probably extending up to about half an acre, this planting, and beyond it you see that yellow drift, the cowslips, and then a beautiful planting of young magnolias. Been a fantastic season for spring blossom generally here in Norfolk, and these are showing exactly just how good these ones can be in a good year. Too much wet, too much wind, and the flowers very quickly brown off, but these were in absolutely superb flowering condition, giving a beautiful display. Here, those cowslips we mentioned a little earlier, great drifts of them. Been very careful in the way they cut the paths to enable you to enjoy these without deadheading them. I think this is Dicentra from memory. Not a plant we grow ourselves in the gardens here in Norfolk, but doing very well here in a sort of semi-woodland area. As I mentioned earlier, I can't resist having a little look around the working parts of this garden, and if you want a good backdrop idea for what compost bins and leaf mould bins should look like, then those really are fine, big examples for a garden on this scale. Modern lean-to aluminium greenhouse, some coal frames, and then a lovely large fruit cage with a relatively modern recent planting of apple trees. A lot of propagation going on in this garden, as you can see, and quite a few pots waiting to be moved into their flowering positions. I think these may have been blind tulips, but they're probably late planted lilies waiting to go out. Now the hidden gem of this old rectory is its walled garden, probably extending to about 3/4 of an acre, fully walled in Norfolk flint and brick. Beautiful condition and maintained, not fully gardened as it would have initially been intended for fruit and vegetables. Some decorative box coming into the design in this garden, and a lot of floral plantings together with the scattering of interplanted vegetables. Beautiful big blocks of red tulips here planted in between the lavender border hedging, but the real showstopper when we visited was this carpet of forget-me-nots and white tulips forming a tablecloth under these really tightly clipped, beautifully pruned and flowering apple trees. Apple blossom at this time and weekend was just at its very peak. Quite a formal planting with a central lawn area. I think a large mulberry tree forms the central focal point in this garden. Thanks for joining me. Do recommend a visit to this fantastic open garden and thoroughly recommend the NGS. Thanks for watching.